Do I go now?
Can you hear it? Did you have the background sound?
Yeah,
You got it, yeah?
yeah.
Beautiful. Is it at the right volume for you?
A bit higher. I'll higher it a bit. Do I go now?
Can you hear it? Did you have the background sound? Is that better?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
I welcome you to the Wi-Fi lunchtime service. Your service for revitalizing fellowship and inner life mastery. I encourage you to allow yourself to partake fully in the aspects of life of this service and experience growth with us. Relax and take a few deep breaths and allow gratitude and thankfulness to rise within you. Follow with me as I go through these declarations. I am not here. Sacred life is here, glorifying itself as me. This thing called life is conscious of itself through me and through all the units of itself. This life, which is the body of the entire universe, is my mother and is also the life of me. And this life supports and promotes itself as me. This one life is the awesome, intelligent, animating force that is the life of the element within which I live. I am spirit, one with the spirit of all life, empowered by life to bring life's supreme power and purpose to fruition. This life that I live is the life that has come into its own self as me. There is a power beyond me that can handle all things that are beyond me, and it is working for my pious good now. I cannot afford not to be here on earth. I am here for the power that brought itself here as me, and constitutes my being and for itself. What the universe needs to fulfill is here as me, and for me to accomplish it. What the universe does itself is not what is done to me. It supports itself for its own complete good, and so it is to me and through me. I am the life of lives of life that knows itself, promotes and fulfills itself. Wi-Fi serves to reveal our divine identity, advocates Christ's culture, and equip humanity for the relevant engagement in life and ministry in an atmosphere of unconditional love, trust, faith, and spiritual power. Our mission is to influence the mindset change through the revelation of humanity's oneness with the divine and equip individuals with the truth of who they are to the intent of having us firmly grounded to also empower others to be impactful in every sphere of life. Our core values are unconditional love, uplifting spirit, integrity, selflessness, trustworthiness, and tenacious devotion. We believe that all life begins and ends with the true Godhead, and all of humanity is spiritually included in the love and life of the divine. We believe that this inclusive relationship is delivered timelessly, sustained and guaranteed by the nature of the Father who fills all things. We equally believe in the urgency to make mankind aware of the good news of their redemption from an inferior expression of life into the most attractive and abundant life possible.
I don't know about you, but just enjoy the stillness that you feel right inside you right now. So you're living in appreciation of the fact that sacred life is here as you. Fulfilling itself as you. And as the moment is passing with the traits and semblances of everything that doesn't need to remain. So once again, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and the desire of the nation shall come. Let go, let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. I don't know what this means to you, but I just feel in my spirit these words. Just let it pass. Let it pass. Let it pass. And this sensation of it passing, what does it feel like? What color is it? What texture? How does it sound like? Can you smell it passing? You say that all that is within me. Bless. Allow yourself the benefit of all that is within you. Experience this passing. And every sensation that accompanies it. You are eternally satisfied. Live in celebration of cosmic victory. Celebrate this now. Celebrate it. This time and space called now, I declare each and every one of us coming to our place. For being satisfying, beneficial, present to our environment in every space we find ourselves. And so it is. You're blessed. Amen. We close. We close.
Did you say we finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Bye, everyone.
I asked if we should close.
Okay.
Okay. So in the last 3 weeks, we have been looking at the principle of community building. We've been talking about the need to release ourselves from the need to be understood. Because it's then and only then that we will be able to understand and also be understood. Last week, I did share that needing to be understood or having the obsession with being understood makes you unavailable to be understood and makes you unavailable to be helped. Hence the need for us to release ourselves of this need. And I've said this over and again, that the more I grow, the more I accept the fact that all of the spirituality or spiritual endeavors, it's about letting go, it's about giving up, it's about emptying, and never about adding into or filling in, because what stops us from feeling or getting fully acquainted with self are the many nuances and the pretenses and the concepts that we've piled up, which has gotten in the way of our experience of. I don't even like using the phrase true self because there's only one, but authentic self, if I could use that word for the benefit of clarity. And I've used the analogy of the stream with the debris. Oh, dear, bear for a second. With me. The battery was just quenching. This camera takes its time. Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I've a few times given the analogy of the stream, which experiences dirty water, emphasizing that at the very base, at the very base, at the very bottom, at the very center, at the very top, in the very nature of the stream is the quality or the character of calmness. But when it experiences ripples, when it experiences disturbance, it's purely because foreign bodies or a foreign matter has been introduced to it. Whether it being rocks or any sort of debris. And if we want to restore the still calm nature or character of the stream, rather than wasting effort trying to straighten out the cause of the flow, it's just as easy as picking up whatever is causing the disturbance. So if it be rocks, you pick the rocks. If it's any grass or any sort of debris that is getting in the way, that is disturbing the flow or the serenity of flow, the moment those are picked up, realize that all that remains is that still calm flowing waters. And that applies to the causes of our life. Whenever we're feeling agitations, whenever we're feeling rattlings, it is always a case of removing that which we choose to make uncomfortable or we choose to have an issue with. And we realize that calmness or stillness is all that we are at the very core. So bearing in mind also that all of these sessions that we're doing, they are geared towards or they are aimed at picking up principles and practices that will allow us live empowered lives. The empowered lives wrapped around the three magic words of serenity, pureness, and calmness. Because that's what I've come to accept that all of this, for me, it's about. So then Apostle Paul will say that let your calmness be, or let your calmness appear to all men. The Lord is near. See? So that is what we are looking at. I did also mention that with the release from the need to be understood is also releasing ourselves from the need to be pleased. Because these are the things that get in the way, or there are some of the things that get in the way of having profitable relationships, having hitch-free associations, or limited hitch associations with people. I'm going to ask this question, and we can dance around it, we can dig around it a little bit. When we appear satisfied, oh, let's bear with me, someone's joining. When we appear satisfied, or when we appear pleased with an outcome or with someone, what is it really at the base? Well, what makes us find a situation, a circumstance, an outcome, or a person pleasurable? When something happens and we go, you know what, I'm pleased with this. What is it that makes us come to that conclusion? That we are pleased with something, we are pleased with someone. What is it that makes us come to that conclusion, that we are pleased with something, we are pleased with an outcome, we are pleased with someone? I don't really want to focus on what it is that makes us feel that we are not pleased with something, but I just want us to look at what is it that, because the moment we understand what is it at the very base that makes us feel like we find an outcome pleasurable, or we find an outcome satisfactory, then obviously knowing that, we would have conversely answered the other question. So what is it that at the base makes us feel, or makes us have the feeling of being pleased with something, someone, or an outcome?
I think it's if it favors you or the person, because someone could do something, it doesn't favor the person doing it, but if it favors you, that's the person. What makes you, that's going back to the question, what makes you pleased with an outcome, is if it favors you. I think that's the bottom line.
Okay. Any more? Any more? Do we understand the person? So for those of us who are quiet, any more? Alina, welcome.
Thank you.
Did you get the question I asked?
Not really. I didn't understand it.
Okay, so what I'm asking is, what is it that makes us consider an outcome, a situation, or a person to be pleasing to us? But what is it that brings us to that conclusion of being pleased with something? What makes us say that, you know what, this person has said this person has done that, this thing is happening, and I'm pleased with it? What is it that brings us to that place?
Oh, I think that happens when the outcome has met your expectation.
Okay.
And also it fits your, if it fits your criteria, your way of thinking, the way you perceive things. If the outcome of something actually fits in, you become pleased with it.
Thank you. So you have also brought something else in. You have brought in expectations. Adding to what Amma said, Amma mentioned if it favors you, you have brought in expectation. Okay. Ma, have you got any thoughts on that? Well, these are things that sometimes we don't stop and think about. That's the reason why I want us to kind of get into them a little bit. So I'm pleased with it. Why am I even pleased? What is it that is making me pleased with this? Jay, have you got any thoughts? Or you've done your part and disappeared?
I'm here, but I have thoughts.
Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Can you repeat?
Okay, so what I said is, what is it that makes us say we find an outcome, a person, a situation, a circumstance pleasing? What is it that makes us find an outcome, a situation, a circumstance pleasing? So when we say that we are pleased with something, what is it that brings us to that conclusion? I know Sika joined because she has something to say about that. Because she was enjoying being on YouTube and all of a sudden she disappeared back on YouTube.
Oh, when I find something pleasing, especially because it helps me or it assists me. Let's say
So-
someone else helps me out, I find that pleasing. I'm pleased by that.
Okay. So you find you in your terms, you find an outcome pleasing because it's beneficial. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sika, did you have anything to add to that? If you type, I can't read it. So if you want to talk. Or you're typing. If you type in, let me know you type in so that I expect what you type in. But if not, then let me know so that I carry on.
I'm surprised. Sister Marie, is she not there?
Cool.
No, I'm here. I'm listening. I don't really have it. I think the lady spoke about expectations, and I agree with her.
Okay. Okay, so okay, right. You actually typed. You said no, please. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think amongst us we have kind of brought up, or we kind of brought out what is at the core of that, and it makes a lot of sense. But I'm not sure if any one of us has had this experience before, where someone has done something or something has happened that, on the surface, apparently, or someone has taken an action that was supposed to please you, or that on the surface appears beneficial, and yet you don't feel pleased with it because maybe you're feeling they didn't need to do that, or they have done something which you potentially consider to be maybe dangerous, even though they might have done it and it would have inured to your benefit, which would naturally please you, yet you find occasion not to be pleased with it. Has any of us had that experience before? Has any of us had that experience before?
That something should naturally please you, but
so
not.
So someone goes out of their way to do something which is favorable to you, which is beneficial to you, but yet you consider it not pleasing, maybe due to how they've gone about it, what they've done about it, or how it's been executed. Even though it favors you, you yet find you yet were not cool with it. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. The only thing is I won't be able to find an example.
Oh, okay. So I'll give you an example. A friend went out of his way to do something for me, which was to help me out, but the means they used to do it or to achieve that, I found it a bit dodgy and thought you didn't have to do that. So even though the outcome was favorable, when they broke it down to me how they have achieved it, I wasn't entirely satisfied.
Oh, okay. If it's that, then I have experienced that with doing something for somebody and the person wasn't satisfied, like happy. I have rather experienced it.
Okay, so that's something for someone and the person wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you're saying.
Okay.
Please, can I come in with this example?
Yeah, come in.
Yeah, some time ago, I got tied up somewhere. So I'm a teacher, and somebody quickly stepped in for me. But that party, the person contacted me. I gave them the topic, all that. So they were able to do it. But then, when I came, I saw that some of the things I would have emphasized during the lesson. In fact, those things were absent. So although the person made use of my period, the children didn't lose. The lesson had been taught. But probably I would have loved to handle it myself because of certain things I would have liked to, or some input I would have liked, to add. So, in this case, I don't know if the example is a fitting one. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
It makes sense in every way. Brother Eben, you're welcome. We're still on the principle of community building, and we are looking at releasing ourselves of the need to be pleased, and just judging instances where, or we're just looking at how, or what is it at the base that makes us feel pleased, or come to the conclusion that we are pleased with an outcome. And we've been around the floor, and some of the things which have come up suggest that we often feel or are pleased with outcomes, with persons, with situations, because it favors us, because it meets our expectation, and also because we find it beneficial. So we're just now looking at examples or scenarios where has it also happened that someone has done something which appears beneficial, it appears profitable to us, it appears to have favored us, but deep down we're still not pleased with maybe the way it went across, even though on the surface it might have benefited us. So that's where we are. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Greetings, family.
Greetings back to you, sir. Okay. So I was thinking on that, and I came to yet another conclusion or no, I would say an insight that often when we place is because we have accepted an offer of another person's best, or what another person considers to be their best on offer at the time. So when we don't make peace with what's on offer, we can find ourselves unleashed. And then I realize that our being pleased is yet another trap. As we were looking at, or what's it called, in the previous principles that we've looked at, principle of pain, principle of well-being, the demand for approval, the demand for acclaim, the demand for acknowledgement, and all those, as we've identified them to be trappings. This is yet another one which is also, or which can potentially be considered a trapping, because it's often tied to certain conditions that we prefer. So preferences come to play when, or before we can accept that we are pleased with an outcome, with a person, with a condition, with a situation. And the fact that two people can look at the same outcomes, one will be pleased, the other wouldn't be pleased, suggests to us that it's purely subjective, can I say, phenomena. It's purely subjective. I'm not sure if any one of us has experienced this before, where you have a certain relationship with someone. You might play with them in a certain way, say certain things to them in a certain way, in a certain space, and they are always cool with it. And you find them in a supposed unknown or foul mood at one point, and the same things that they laugh about, all of a sudden it becomes a problem. Have we encountered that before?
Yeah.
Why is that?
So I mean, obviously that aspect is as a result of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
How a person responds to it is emotions. So you already said that when you say it in a certain atmosphere, is received in a pleasantly, but in another atmosphere, it is no longer pleasant. So it all depends on the person's emotions and how their mood and the emotion they're experiencing at the moment.
Someone mentioned this to me in a conversation one time. It's like, oh, so basically, an event, something had happened, and like, the way this person spoke to me, they really made me foolish. And I'm like, okay, did they tell you you're foolish? I said, no, but I felt foolish because they said so and so, or they had asked me so and so. And I'm like, okay, let's break it down. And you realize that these things play and they go back. I'm saying this because you brought in emotions. They go back and they rest at the foot of ego yet again. That is what will make, let's say, you can have a conversation with someone, just the two of you, and tell them whatever you want to tell them. They wouldn't have an issue. If there happens to be a third person there, it becomes a completely different circumstance altogether. It's the same thing, but just at the presence of someone that they in their minds aren't comfortable with, or they don't think should be privy to that experience, it becomes a problem. Why is that?
I think it's part of nature. I mean, if we bring it to ego is been given to us, so as emotions, as I mean,
yeah, but how we using how we using it, or how we are allowing ourselves to be used, is what we are trying to train ourselves into now.
Exactly.
With what we are learning.
So let's say, let's stick to the example of there be a third person there, and it becomes a completely different thing. Ego is the core of it. Maybe I don't want this person to look at me in a certain light, or see me in that way. It's part. I don't think it's a bad thing. Yes.
No. I no. So wait, just read right there. I've not even brought in good or bad in here.
I'm bringing good or bad to answer the question.
What I was alluding to had nothing to do with good or bad. Yeah, but go on.
No, but did I say good or bad?
Because I realized that the moment I said ego, your eyes lit as if we're going to talk about something bad.
No. Well, yes, that's why I said that we've concluded in the past lessons that ego is not necessarily a bad thing or good. It's neutral. So at that moment, my ego has set in. I don't want this person.
You are throwing another thing into it called want. No.
Okay, you answer the question then. I'm done.
No, I'm not answering. I'm listening to you. I'm only trying to unpick certain things so that we can kind of isolate them. So we've got ego, we've got want. Okay, carry on, please. I'm listening.
We've got ego, we've got what?
We've got want.
Yes, no, I don't want.
I'm only trying to pick
because you've thrown in a third person. So if once you throw in a third person, the dynamics change. So what is really changing my mood, or the person changing their mood, is this third person. So things will also come in. Want to come in, ego will come in. I don't want to look like this in the front of this person, so don't talk to me like that. Case closed. That's what brings up those issues. Yeah.
Any other thoughts? But baby, I'm not sure if your hand was up earlier on. I seen your hand pop up and went back down.
Oh, I was supporting it. You asked if any one of us have witnessed that, and I was just giving the answer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. No, it's quite. No, the point you're making is very valid. Yeah, very, very valid point. And do we think, based on what we are learning, what we know, or what we are knowing, or what is knowing us, I like using that phrase now. Where if we strip off the pretenses or the attachments we make to the way we want others to perceive us, will we really have issues in that sense? Is it not more down to how we want to be seen, as opposed to who we really are at the base? Because that's where the nuance of pretense come in.
I don't think it's pretense.
Because I feel that if this person thinks of me this way, it demeans me. I will have lost respect in front of them. I would have gone down in their estimation. They are no longer going to consider me to be the high and mighty person that I see myself. It would have been disrespectful to me. So no, they shouldn't see me in this light.
Well, if you put it that way, that's a high end of ego. But we are always different people to different we are always different to different people, different personalities to different people.
Putting on
True.
social masks,
That's the
personality.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because people, when someone goes to in a church environment, they carry on something different. In the home, they are different. At work, they are different. School, they are different. So we are different people in different. I think we all do it. There is no one.
We all do it, but it comes back to the question: all of these things are changing. Does it have to be like that?
Even though it's always like that with us, but it's all when pride or it depends on your where you are at. If you've got so much pride, like where I want to be seen in a certain bossy. It depends on how you want to be seen. But even if the person is being humble, whatever it is, they still will be different people to different. I mean, different personalities to different people. Whether it's pride or humility, or we change. Someone said we are like chameleons. We change to adapt to our environment, literally, and like in these circumstances as well.
Okay. Any more? Thank you.
I would like to agree with her because sometimes we just have to adjust according to our environment and your level of growth. Setting. I don't know if you heard this. You have to have categories of friends, right? Friends that you discuss spirituality with, friends that you talk, financial growth with, exercise types of friends. So then, don't get yourself caught up in, well, that's not the right word. Based on how everyone or the person meets you, that's where you kind of provide that, gap. Because for instance, if you cannot go to certain settings or environment where, for instance, your quote unquote boys attitude, you are boys back home, but in your job position, you're expected to operate as a manager. And you come to the office playing loud music and all that stuff, and you are saying, media, this is me. You very soon you'll be jobless and behind your bills and sleeping on the street. So I think it all depends on, we just have to get into that mindset or learn that skill set where we can adjust, so to say, so that's the whole purpose of our growth. You identify yourself and okay, I have this in me where I can bring it out whenever I want, but I choose not to. A good example would be people that claim alpha male. They don't know when to turn it off. They claim on the face level, hey, me, when I speak, that's it. But they forgot that there's duality in this world. There is a sun, there is a moon. If you study it, it's a give and take. So when you learn and you master that art, you wouldn't be found wanting. In this play or the drama that we have going on, the most important thing is, knowing yourself to the core, and you stay true to that knowledge, but realizing that there is a play going on also, and how can you fit in? How can you also contribute to this play? because our reincarnation, us coming back and whatnot, depends on the impact, the mark we leave. So having all that information would help. And I agree with our dear sister that just gave. She said it perfectly. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. And I think it kind of behoves on all of us to find out from ourselves the frequency we need to be vibrating at to relate with others per situation, circumstance. Because I've come to understand ultimately that is where it leans into, because you said this here a few times, you are a field of infinite frequency. See? But here's the fun, sometimes, and okay, I'm not going to say sometimes, I believe that this work that we are doing is being aimed at we teaching ourselves how to identify the various frequencies to employ or to operate on that is synchronized with the circumstances, the people, the relationship that you're dealing with at the time, to ensure that we're giving it our best and we are being beneficial per time. So I think it's important for us to bear that in mind. What frequency do I need to vibrate at in this instant? In that split moment, pause and ask yourself the question. And once you are obsessed with this, I can guarantee you, over time, it becomes second nature, and you wouldn't necessarily need to struggle to make that adjustment, because for every situation, for every circumstance, there is a specific frequency we need to tune into to deal with that. This is similar to what I said earlier on. So I don't know how many of us can relate with this, where you are upset, or you okay, so I'm just, for want of a better word, let me say you're upset, you're angry, you're pissed off with something, and then when you are in that frequency, when you are in that mode, things that you even find generally pleasurable or you find generally joyful, or outcomes or events that you find joyful, all of a sudden they don't seem joyful anymore. They don't see they don't seem fun anymore, because you have switched frequency. Yeah? Is this something that we can transcend? Or is this something we need to transcend? I'm even using the word need here. Do we need to transcend this, or it's okay, it is part of life? I can be upset, and when someone is even trying to get me, you know what, it's okay, you don't have to be upset about it. Go, oh yeah, leave me alone. It's not funny. You're not laughing here, are we? It's not joking, are we? Is this something that requires transcending, or it just has to be that if I'm upset, I'm upset, so leave me alone?
You already answered it. Yes, we need to transcend it. Unless you are not aware of yourself and the need of growth. Because if you don't, it will be like you always give your power away to certain things. Certain things will trigger you, take your happiness, take your joy. So it's part of that journey that we are on, embarking on. like identifying those things that used to trigger you and realizing, "Oh, this time around I've been giving my power to this thing, and now outgrowing it to the point where you've gained mastery. You just see it and did not, get sucked into it. It's a very well, I'm not going to say I don't know if it's a proper English, but it's necessary as we are embarking on this, even if it's not spirituality, maturity to a certain extent, knowing that there's always change is a constant factor of life. There are certain things you have to outgrow. For instance, every Friday we used to stand in the club. Hey, we are going, we are going. You get to certain age, you be like, oh, this thing is all we do is go there, and you outgrow it. And sometimes you see the young people also, taking it to the core, and you're like, wow, this thing. I'm surprised they find joy in it. But we also have to be careful where we do not become judgmental of it, where we tag everyone that are also not yet, outgrown it, and we understand where they are coming from, and you know, offer guidance when they seek it. Thank you.
Thank you. I think were you saying something to that? Or you were just nodding your head in agreement?
Yeah, I was gonna add to that, but I kind of forgot the question a bit.
If you forgot the question, Braven can help you with the question because he just answered the question.
You asked, is there a need for us to transcend certain traits?
Yeah.
Like being angry and being like, oh, me, this how I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I think I do agree with Brother Ebren. We do need to transcend that. I believe there are people who have actually transcended that, where nothing really gets them angry. You just look at things and I for instance, personally, I know different aspects of my life that I've transcended, certain emotions. And it doesn't really, normally I look, when I put myself back in the same setting that years ago, I would normally react in a certain way. Now I wouldn't. I'll look at it and sometimes even feel sorry for the situation, or feel sorry for the people involved, I wish they knew better, or they acted better. Not in you just kind of, you find compassion, for the person in the situation. Yeah, so I think we can transcend. We can, and we should, if we really want to.
Any more? Thank you. Okay. There's a certain phrase that I have adopted. Like saying, where just chipping something in from where you ended. Remember, I've said this here before, that when I started looking at what Jesus says when he says, Father, forgive them for they know not what they're doing, is the one phrase that changed it for me in the way I look at how I deal with people when I feel, or I'm inclined to think, oh, okay, they are doing something that's offending me. They are doing something that's triggering me. They are doing something that is pissing me off. I just, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. See? And instantly, and I've added a new phrase to it. I'm tuning myself to be sure. I'm tuning myself to be serene. I'm tuning myself to be pleased. And it works like flipping magic. Try. If you are rich to the point you feel like going bonkers, just go, oh, you know, I'm not really entitled. I'm not entitled to this. I'm tuning myself to be pleased. And if you can see that subconsciously, tune yourself to be pleased and still go bonkers, you need deliverance. Your case is beyond redemption. In my opinion, in that sense. But saying that, you know, we have been taught in certain contexts, oh, anger is, this person is angry, it's bad, and it's no. We have taught here it's not the case, but it's understanding how to utilize those emotions. See, that is key. It's understanding how to utilize those emotions. Because right now, I give this example. I'm sure was it you that I was having this chat with when I said once that I think I was having a chat. In fact, I was having a chat with Brother Ishmael, and he mentioned that, and it sank with me that people commit atrocities more atrocities are committed for the sake of love than for the sake of hatred. Think about it. Yeah. If I'm stood here right now and someone is putting Josh's life at risk or in harm's way, okay, physically, and I can do something about it. Let's say someone is attacking him and I have a rifle. I wouldn't think twice. I will release the trigger if I believe his life is in danger. True or true? I wouldn't say.
But what about the person who is doing the attacking?
Huh?
What about the person doing the attacking?
What about him, Jason? He needs to go and look for his father to come and protect him.
You look at me.
Okay.
Yeah. This is different part. I'm trying to talk about, okay, so what in love is that person attacking? What was the love that is making the person attack?
Oh, no. Okay, no. So no, but you remember when we were doing the love series, we have said this over and over again, that at the base of all human action, it's love. The only difference is when you are at an adverse end or when you're suffering an adverse effect of that action, you consider it as hatred. So let's say, for instance, someone goes to steal and they realize, okay, they are hungry. They are destitute, they're hungry, and they in their minds, from their limited knowledge, they think the only way I can get by is steal from another person. Okay, and at that point they're hungry. They're going to steal to go feed someone to feed themselves, and there's someone in the way of the objective of finding the substance that they think will alleviate their poverty or kind of address their need. Okay, and that person loses their life in the line of that. They were committing that act. One, the love for self, that's also love. Let's not forget. But we like to call it selfishness. No, the love for self is also love. They love themselves. That's the reason why they are not thinking and caring about putting another's life at their expense. At the root of that action is the love for something. Just that because the other person might have had the adverse consequence of their action, they would not be sitting down processing it as, oh, okay, because they loved to be failed, they loved to be satisfied. That's the reason why they were doing that. And when we had done that series, I've given this example over and over and over again of an armed robber that we all used to know growing up in Asawase, when the police were coming for the guy, even though the locals knew that this guy was an armed robber and hardened criminal, they were daring to protect him. Why? Because he was so generous. He with the people that he was looking after, the people that he had given money to support them in petty trading and stuff like that. They all knew that he was stealing to provide for them. It was like a Robin Hood kind of thing. Okay. But to those who suffered the brunt of his criminal activities, he was a mean person. He wasn't a nice person. He was a terror to them. But those who were beneficiaries of his actions, they saw him as a loving person. You see? So it's all a case of where you are stood. But at the base of it, it's love. And I was listening to I don't know if you know this guy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. It's called Neil Eyal. He is what's it called, a behavior design expert. I love him. I have been reading his papers lately, and he said a statement that, or he made a statement that I still can't wake up from. I was listening to that interview, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he said that all human behavior is driven by the desire to escape discomfort. That hit me. All human behavior is driven by a desire to escape discomfort. That is in consonance with what we're talking about. At the base of all human action is love. It's the love for something. You know, the love for pleasure, the love of comfort, the love of security, the love, the love for safety, you know, the love for approval, the love to feel important, the love to feel special, the love to feel acclaimed, the love to feel accepted. It's at the base of it is the love for something. I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, two nations are at war. Russia, Ukraine. You look at it. Oh, this person is Putin has done this and he's done that, and he's so mean and he's killing people. No. It's love motivated, because he is the love for the Soviet Union, the love to see the Soviet Union rise. The fact that he can't take the fact that another nation has risen to supremacy beyond the glory that they have, and they're thinking that, okay, why should this person be dictating to me? We are also sovereign in our own rights. We are equally powerful. You know, if you really sit down and carefully analyze, you realize that is a love of self, the love of power. There's love somewhere. You see? Anyway, Breben, your hand is up. You have been patient to let me finish, so I think.
Oh no, yeah. I wanted, because sometimes you just took the wind out of myself. Yeah, and you said it beautifully. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to also cite an example where Jesus Christ himself, because of the passion and the love that he had, that one time when he went to the temple and they were transaction business in the church, a whole gentleman you were supposed to carry, a whole savior, he lost his food.
He decided to be the people that he was supposed to.
Messes. He was like, hey, I've had it to here. So sometimes it's okay. The receiving end may be at a disadvantage. The receiving end, that's the polarity sometimes we talk about. But if you identify that the means or the ends is greater than the process, then that's where we target as it is good. But in the process, it will suck. And mostly, like with these dictators and people, in other nations, they have the passion, they have the love for their country.
Yep.
So they act. where others would target as no, it's unacceptable. But at the core is the love that they have for the country or their people. People that even were able to do coup d'etats. Recently there was a coup d'etat, and I was surprised nobody tagged it as bad. Because we are all aware of the oppression that their people were going through. But back in the days, we'll be like, hey, there's a coup d'etat, this person is a dictator, da, da, da. But now there's a sense of, there's a awakening coming up, that people are coming to the realization, thanks to technology, like, wow, okay, then we support that. Kenya, there's a massive riot. Others will tag it as bad. But if you do not truly love something, you won't fight for it. At the core, if you don't really love it and you're not committed to it, you won't fight it. But let's not digress from the point where you outgrow the anger, but that doesn't mean you will lose it. Then, because certain situation will call for it, and you are able to, awaken those, because the beauty of it is you being able to have a handle of it, a control over it. And when situation comes where it is deemed of your anger, you activate that. Where there's no time to explain things to people, it's time for you to kick in that it's part of us, fight or flight. So you wouldn't say, oh, me, I've mastered, I'm a Zen, and there's a fire in your apartment. You have to flee. You wouldn't say, oh man, me, I can sit in this fire and let the fire just die out. No, you will burn into charcoal, you burn into ashes. So having a good control of it, and when you see others applying it, then you don't label it, but you as a person, you have it in you, but you decide not to actually use it at this moment. But there's a need for it. It's part of our life. Let's not just for lack of better words, shy away from it, because it's part of us as humans. When there's a need for it, let us not second guess it. But you have to really assess the situation where it really is deemed of your anger, then you let it out. So then sometimes when you let it out, they're like, hey, hey, senior, then there is harmony, or there is some sense of order. And it goes back to how Jesus conducted it, like how Jesus did. All along, nobody thought he's that vicious. He has it in him. But when he did, he was right. And it stopped. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think next week what I want us to do, we will look at, because at the end of these, we always have exercises, and we'll look at reclaiming your love energy, because all of these things we do, I intend for us to, because it is what it is. Every situation, every relationship is an energy exchange. Okay? Nothing leaves you neutral. It's an energy exchange. Everything is trying to either top up your reserves or take something away from you. Nothing. Okay? Everything is energy exchange. So learning to give our energies to the right thing, or to beneficial, I don't even want to say right, so like beneficial outcomes, beneficial to others, is key. And that's something that we will need to work with, cultivate. And when it goes back and forth, it always comes back to the same place of love, because upon it hangs all the law as he says. And I think Paul puts it very, very nicely. Be angry, but do not sin. Let not the sun go down. When it comes to letting not the sun go down, go check that scripture. He says, be angry, do not sin. But he doesn't say not let the sun go down on your anger. He says not let the sun go down on your rage. Go check it out. A few years ago when I startled on that and the different Greek words that were used to show the difference, it kind of blew me. And it makes sense because anger, he says, rests in the bosom of a fool. So be angry, but don't let your anger make a fool out of you. Okay? Know how to use it as opposed to letting it use you. Because our emotions are meant to be used. They are not meant to use us. Okay? If you've been hungry before and you didn't enjoy the hunger, that is to teach you to engage your genius to make provision so that you don't have to suffer hunger. It's not a bad thing. You need to learn how to utilize it, optimize it, and maximize it. The love you feel in your heart is the love that heals and rejuvenates you. Let the voice of love rule, reign, and prevail at all times. And I pray that even as we hear the sound of this, the cells of your body are rejoicing, even as they are being washed with this energy of love and pleasantness. Shalom and life to us. I want us to, for just 3-5 minutes, in whatever way this word has come to you, allow yourself this brief moment. Think on it before we leave this space. Say that faith comes by hearing and hearing. Allow yourself to hear this. In a way that blesses you. And at this point, I invoke me in the soul of each and every one of us here. Speaking of oneness, with one voice, announcing that today, this day, here, right now, right here, is the day of freedom and liberty, and full of the expression of intelligence. The day of completion, and we give thanks. For this perfect day of liberty. As we experience our freedom from all the things which hold us and gets in our way of having our best expressions of our best self. Speak that let there be a healthy, wealthy, wise, each and every one of us. coming into the fruition of the fullness of life, I pray that may everyone under the sound of my voice come into the fullness of significant and transformative energies, causing us to matter in every environment, in every space, right throughout this universe. Go in this that might and continue being the beneficial presence that you are here to be. The mighty oak under which many will nest. Go birth destinies, go birth innovations, go birth witty inventions, go birth mind-blowing ideas, go birth wisdom. God, that is your very code, that is your very nature, that's your very gene. Truly blessed. Live in your in your eternal endowment. Amen. Life to us all. Love you.
Amen. Love you too, sir.
Amen.
Feeling there.
Amen. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.